Hi, this is Chanel. Hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about, or I'm actually going to tie in probably three different points, okay, in this video. So I'm going to talk about manipulation. Okay, I talk about that a lot in my videos. I wrote a book about it. So what do manipulative people depend on? Okay, that'll be one point. Second will be strength. I did a video recently about the importance of pushing. Okay. Keep going. Okay. And I also want to talk about knowledge. Okay. The importance of paying attention. Okay, so I'm going to talk about those three main things in this video. So first I want to talk about a movie that I have not seen the entire movie. However, at the church I belong to, Life Church, the pastor, he does a series called At the Movies. Okay, and so one message was based on a movie called Young Woman at Sea, I believe. Young Woman at Sea. And the movie was about a young lady who wanted to become a swimmer. She was a swimmer. And the characters around her, I paid attention to the characters around her, okay? Some were very supportive. Some doubted her. Some were there to help her. However, their title would have, you would have thought that with that title they would have helped her. However, there was a point in the movie where the person who was there to help her was actually trying to get her disqualified, okay, from a goal she was trying to reach, okay? And so I think I'm going to title this video, What Manipulative People Depend On, okay? So I'm going to talk about first I'm going to talk about about manipulation, okay? So what do they depend on? When I think about manipulative people, there are three main characteristics or three main types, okay, that I've seen often. All right. We all have to survive in this world together. Okay. The goal would be for everyone to just do what they're supposed to do, respect one another, help one another when needed. Okay. But when you think about and I have a plate here, okay. When you think about manipulative people, it's kind of like a plate. What are they trying to serve you? Whether depending on it, no matter who it is. When a person is pushing something your way, what are they trying to serve you? Okay. Now, I'm looking up at notes. What I did is I came up with three names to describe the three main personalities that I have noticed when dealing with manipulative people. Okay. The first one is Macho Martin. Okay. The second would be Mean Girl Melissa. And the third would be Manipulative Mary. Okay. These three people who try to be macho. Okay. And the reason I did Macho and Mean Girl is they're pretty much in the same category. Okay. Because they try to be very overbearing, okay, and they try to have come across as a bully, okay. So we got the man and the woman who try to come across as a bully, either verbally or physically, emotionally, financially, whatever the case may be. They try to come across as an overbearing bully, okay. So that's Macho Martin and Mean Girl Melissa. Okay. Manipulative Mary operates off of trickery. Okay. So whether they try to come across as someone who is I'm not going to go fully into that. Okay. So, but manipulative Mary operates off of trickery. Okay. So what do they depend on? These three people. If someone is trying to be a bully, or someone is trying to operate as a person who is wanting control, by any means necessary, or they're trying to trick you, what do they depend on? Okay, if you are a person who does not, and I first want to say this, most people operate in groups. Okay, so if you are Macho Martin or Mean Girl Melissa or Manipulative Mary, 9 times out of 10, the people that you hang out with the most are also Macho Martin, Mean Girl Melissa, or Manipulative Mary. Okay? 9 times out of 10, if you know the people you hang out with the most operate the same. Now, not saying that everyone, because I'm the type of person who can hang out with I can get along with everybody. I can get along with everyone. However, again, pay attention to those things. Like I said, if a person is operating off of those 3 things that I mentioned, you'll have to pay attention to that. So, what do they depend on? They depend on weak gates. Okay? People who are attempting to manipulate you are operating off of weak gates. So when I say weak gates, I'm going to explain to you what that means. Your gates are your brain, your eyes, your mouth. Those are some, okay? So I'm going to start with your brain, okay? Well, first let me break down those 2 words. Weak, okay? Weak gates. So weak means not strong. Okay, weak means incapable of holding strength. Okay, if a person is weak, a lot of times they're like a doormat. Okay, they may be seen as an easy target. Well, so these last 3 things that I'm mentioning are the way that manipulative people see you. Okay, if a person sees you as as being weak in these areas, they will see you as a doormat, an easy target, or a person who's not worthy of respect. Okay? So that's weak. Okay? In a manipulative person's mind, that's weak. Alright? Let's talk about gates. What is a gate? A gate is an entry point. If you have a gate to anything, okay, that is an entry point. Right? If you have strong gates that are closed, not any and everything can come in and out. Do you understand? So a gate is an entry point. If a person sees you as one who has a weak gate, they feel as though, number one, they look for weak areas. Okay, they look for weak areas, and their goal is to gain access. Okay, so they look for weak areas, and they want to determine how easily they can gain access to whatever's secure to you. Okay. Now, why would a manipulative person want to gain access to your gates? Okay. Is it a good reason or a bad reason? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. Why would a manipulative person want access to your gates? Is it for a good reason or a bad reason? 9 times out of 10, if a person is operating out of trickery, or they're coming to cause harm, obviously that's not a good reason. Okay. How are they trying to gain access? Are they gaining access by asking questions and just being honest about who they are and what they're doing? Are they coming to you in a respectful way? All right. Are they coming to you directly, or are they coming to you indirectly, or are they trying to access information in an indirect manner? Like I said, these are questions that you need to ask yourself. Obviously, if a person is being manipulative, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be indirect. or they're going to be dishonest about why they're doing and what they're, or what they're doing and why they are there. Okay. Another question you should ask yourself is, whatever it is they're trying to do, if a person is trying to be sneaky, okay, if they have to be underhanded, or if they, if they have to operate in trickery or lies or deceit, or if they're being overbearing, or they're trying to be a bully and push their way into a space that should be secure for you, ask yourself, number one, respect is everything. Okay, and so whatever it is they're trying to access, ask yourself, whatever it is they want, would they be willing to give me whatever it is they're trying to get? Or would they be, how would they feel if I was doing this to them? Okay, if a person is manipulative and they're being, they're operating off of trickery, how would they feel if I was trying to trick them, or if I was trying to bully them or lie to them, or be underhanded or sneaky with them to do whatever it is I'm trying to do? 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't take it well at all. You understand? So, pay attention to those things. All right, and ask yourself those questions. Now, back to your gates. Okay, so what are your gates? I'm going to start with the top of your head, and I'm going to work your way down. Okay, the first gate is your brain. Okay, with your brain, obviously, there's knowledge. Okay, information is everything. The Bible says, don't be ignorant of an enemy's devices. All right, that is the reason why I wrote the book. That is the reason I do videos on, or have made, and I'm still making videos about manipulation, is because people are manipulative in many ways. Okay, and there are a lot of people who do not pay attention, or I know a mistake that I have made is I have seen things, but I have given too much grace. And when you give too much grace, people see you as a doormat, like I just said. Okay, they see you as a doormat. They see you as an easy target. They see you as someone who is not worthy of respect. Let's think of a doormat. Okay, a doormat is something, if you have a doormat in front of your home or in front of your business, what do people use a doormat for? They use it to they dirty up the doormat so their shoes can be clean. Do you understand what I'm saying? They want to be clean, so they're going to dirty you up. Okay, so a person who uses you as a doormat, or a person who sees you as a doormat, has no respect for you. Okay, their goal is to dirty you up. Okay, is to get you dirty so they can remain clean. Okay, so their space can be how they want it to be. I'm gonna dirty up this. This is not worthy of respect. Okay, so back to the gates. Okay, so knowledge is everything. So a manipulative person would depend on you not having knowledge. All right, they would depend on you not knowing anything at all. That can mean either they lie, or that can mean they depend on you again, just being completely ignorant of what's going on. Okay. Your eyes. I'm going to move on to the eyes. A manipulative person depends on you not seeing. Okay. So that means either they do things when you're not there, or when maybe they want to go somewhere else and just be out of sight. Or wait until you're away. they can depend on just complete, like I said, just blindness, just not knowing what's going on. Also trickery. Okay, what, here's something, but what you see it really isn't the truth. Okay, so that's trickery. Okay, so they may try to blow smoke, so to speak, or like I said, just not show you the truth. Okay, either keep the truth hidden from you altogether, or not show you the truth. Okay. Next is ears. Okay. Like I said, all three of these are gates. So with ears, telling a lie, or just not giving information at all. Do you understand? Or just putting harmful or manipulative words in your ears. Okay, I talked about in a video recently. I think I did the video last or yesterday. Word spells. Okay, words are very powerful. Okay, so what a person says, what comes out of a person's mouth, what a person puts in the atmosphere verbally. Manipulative people also can depend on that. Okay, a lot of people don't think about that. Okay, but like I said, words are very powerful, and a manipulative person will put false or harmful words out there. Do you understand? Lies, or like I said, just silence. They may just decide to keep you in the dark. That's another way of just keeping someone in the dark. Just don't say anything at all. Okay, and so, like I said, manipulative people depend on those things. All right, back to the movie that I was talking about. The girl in the video had many people around her. Okay, some were supportive, some were not. There were, some cheered her on from afar. For instance, with her parents, I think she had one parent who was supportive, another parent who was not supportive. She had a coach, but the coach tried to get her disqualified from a race that she was in. Okay, a coach is supposed to be there to help, but the coach was trying to get her disqualified. There were people, there were a lot of hurdles. Back to the swimmer, she swam the sea. I think a English Channel or something. I can't remember, but she was swimming in the sea during her journey. There were a lot of hurdles. Okay, it was not an easy task. At the end, there were people, a lot of people at the finish line who were cheering her on from afar. She didn't see the people, but the people were there cheering for her from afar. All right. I see life as a journey. Okay, life is a journey. There are millions of people on this earth, and everybody has a different mindset. Okay, some people have a mindset of being supportive. Some have a mindset of, just pretending that they're there to support you, or having a title of support, but really trying to harm. Okay, there are people who are, who may not be able to support by giving knowledge. However, they may verbally, pat you on the back and tell you can do it, or whatever, put you in the right place, or try to put you in front of the right people in order to be successful. There are just so many things, everybody just has a different mindset. Okay, and it's just important to, again, since this video, in this video I'm talking about manipulative people. When a person is trying to manipulate, it's important to be able to identify that. Okay, one thing that I think about, like I said, I didn't see that movie in its entirety. You know, I saw it at church, and clips were shown during his message. And I remember there was a scene where the coach had, I think he was offering her something. Let me go back, because I'm not even explaining what I'm explaining this in fully. But there was a lady who was, her journey, she swam from one end of the sea, I guess, to another. Things got very difficult. It was cold. It was dark. It was, there were stingrays. There was a body of stingrays that she had to swim through. And it was not an easy task. Okay. Now there was a team behind her who were with her along that journey. However, that was a journey that she had to make, by herself. When you're in that water and you're using your arms, all they can do is be there and cheer you on. Okay. But anyway, at one point there was one part in the movie where the coach was trying to offer her something, and had she taken that offer, that would have disqualified her from reaching her goal or winning or whatever the case was. Now, the coach knew this, but he was trying to trick her. Okay. And I have experienced many people, and not to say everybody, like I said, I've experienced manipulative people. Okay. And sometimes what looks like help can actually be a hindrance. You understand? So it's just important. Like I said, I put these videos out because I just want people to be aware of what manipulative behavior looks like. Okay. How do they see you? How does a manipulative person see you? Okay. What are they trying to serve you? Okay. What are they trying to put on your plate? All right. Because it doesn't always look the same. Like I said, the three people, Macho Martin, Mean Girl Melissa, and Manipulative Mary. Okay. You need to be able to identify those people. Are you one of those people? Or, are you not like that? And, could you identify those people if they were around you? Okay. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you got something out of it. I hope I explained everything clearly. Okay. Especially when it came to the movie. But anyway, I hope I explained my points clearly to you. And feel free to write a comment and like. Okay. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.